let's look at the issue with the recent development surrounding West Indies cricket, and the most recent one, the firing of coach Phil Simmons. Do you think that's a vindication of what you have been saying all along, that it's more than just the West Indies Cricket Board, but it's about cricket on and off the field?
Yes, it's about the present structure that governs West Indies cricket. That system that gives individual in certain positions in the structure the opportunity to do as they wish without any accountability whatsoever. I've said over and over, the whole question of West Indies cricket, it's about putting a system in place that makes that organization responsible for something that is a public good, something that Caribbean people feel strongly about, that defines us as a people. We have just a few persons leading the organizations over the years with no sense of accountability and responsibility to the people of the region. So that what suits them individually is what is important, not what suits the people of the region. Clearly, from day one, Coach Simmons, like everybody else, fall victim to this structure that has no accountability in it. That Simmons consistently, as when he was hired, sought they get the support of the board to give him the ammunition and the support of the players that he thought necessary to be successful. They refused. They refused to give their own captain the chose holder, the team that he wants. And when they fail, then you want to blame them. When the result has not been good, you want to blame them for the failure. The board needs to understand that the people of the region cannot take this anymore. And we as leaders in the region have a responsibility to ensure that this West Indies Cricket Board is held accountable for its action, because it's really creating a major problem for this public good called cricket.
You're no longer lead speaker on the issue of cricket in the region. So how you hope to galvanize the support?
Well, as a Prime Minister and a lover of cricket, I believe I have a responsibility, and I expect that other leaders will in fact speak out on this very fundamental issue. Sammy, who has been the most successful T20 captain, brought us 2 World Cup, was summarily fired in a couple minutes on a telephone. That is the kind of behavior that we have seen, and I believe not enough of us spoke out on this issue. So Simmons' thing now is not surprising. So while I'm not the person, in fact I strongly decided that Ralph should have been taken up the position, I gave it up because I felt angered by the behavior of a couple of our leaders in the region, the way they behaved when we took a decision, and I felt that they undermined the authority of the chairman of the subcommittee at the time, and therefore I didn't feel I could continue in that position. I spoke to Ralph. In fact, I sent a message to him because I hold that position of recognizing his leadership seriously so, and told him that I was going to issue a statement as the Prime Minister of Grenada, and he knows my position as a cricket lover. In fact, I contacted a few other leaders in the region about that breaking news of a firing of Simmons. And I think that I expect to hear more and more comments. What I would expect that is other people, not just leaders, cricket lovers, former captains of West Indies cricket team, it's time that people speak out about what is taking place, the way this leadership that now exists in West Indies cricket is operating and doing things as they wish. In fact, I believe that Simmons was going to be fired about a year ago when he was suspended. The only reason that the board did not move is the strong position that I took and the CARICOM subcommittee on cricket took, because I did call Cameron and said he was mad to behave in the way he's behaving, that I expect Simmons to be rehired. And I believe the fact that I gave it up and the fact that we appear to be not speaking with one voice of the leadership of the region gave Cameron that blank check on his board to treat the players and West Indies cricket as his own little yard.
There appears to be wide support in terms of public views surrounding the support for regional leaders and probably a more forceful, action from regional leaders. Do you think at times there seems to be this?
No, I think the public is depending on this, and we've made it very clear. I am not advocating, and I would never want, leaders must not be involved in running West Indies cricket, a sporting organization. The people must be involved, but there must be some system of accountability. That's what leaders must call for. Not getting involved in who should play or not play for West Indies, how it should be organized and not organized. That's not our role at all. But we must ensure that organizations that operate public good in the name of the region and as representative of the region, of the people in the region, that we must ensure that there is some system of accountability to the people of the region.
And in addition to that, the whole issue of governments using taxpayers' monies to provide facilities and
That's
all
right.
these support.
Well, clearly we've been spending hundreds of millions of dollars beyond the ability of those countries. And you know it in Grenada, for example, with the facilities we have put there involves a lot of money. A lot of things could have been done with it, but because of our love for sports and a love for the young people of the region, ensuring, like at the athletics facility, the cricket facility, it's about our young people. It's not about just a game. It's about the future of our young people. And we see, Michael, the opportunities that are created regionally and internationally for successful sportsmen. What Usain Bolt is doing for Jamaica today. What other athletes, what was done for Barbados with the Gary Sobers and Wes Hall, what they did to promote the tourism product in Barbados and other countries. So sports can be an enormous lift for the economic development. And Kirani James, for example, his success has done enormous for Grenada already. And I expect that he will continue to give us more and more success. And that's why I feel so strongly about it. It's not just about cricket. It's about the development of the young people of our region.
Okay, so you have been a spokesperson in CARICOM, not just on cricket, but sports in general.
Yes.
How do you think you can translate that to get your regional leaders to even put sports on the agenda for regional, regional
well,
leaders?
Well, it has been, there has been. But the problem, I think, Michael, is that we have to speak with one voice. The problem is that when you have some of us going in different directions, especially when we make decisions at the regional level, at CARICOM level, and then one or two of us go off on our own and make opposite statement and claiming that we were not part of the decision. I think that becomes divisive and unhelpful, and then it gives those who wish to continue to do as they want the opportunity to do so, and I think that's unfortunate because the region is the one that is losing. We in Grenada will suffer. I don't expect, because the kind of vindictive approach of the present leadership of the West Indies cricket organization, I don't see we'll be offered a game. But if that's the price that we have to pay for my speaking out, I'm prepared to do so. Unfortunately, Grenada may suffer for limited time, but I'm convinced in the end that we will be vindicated.
Are you prepared to call a regional sports summit to deal with sports in general?
I think that might be a good idea. To tell you the honest truth, it might be something that to think about, not just cricket, about sports in general, because I believe we need to look. Because the fact is, it's not just cricket. There are indeed serious problems with the whole question of the structure and leadership of sporting organization, whether it's athletic organization, whether it's football organization, whether it's cricket, whether it's table tennis. The organization and the leadership needs to be examined in the context of what is needed for modern organization in the 21st century. And therefore I think it's something that we need. So it's not just about cricket, it's about other organizations and different countries. There seems to be a problem with the whole question of the lack of a proper, appropriate structure, modern structure that governs sporting organization in different countries throughout the region.
Finally, Prime Minister, the way forward, especially going back to the issue of cricket, what do you think is the way forward?
I think the continued failure of the team, which is I predicted when I gave that speech in Barbados, that the test team will never succeed on that environment that we had. I think the continued failure is going to make those who seem to be in reservation in speaking out now take stronger position, because they will in fact be held accountable for what is taking place. So I expect to see more and stronger actions taken at the leadership level and by people in the region as a whole. Those who are quiet now will have to come out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right.